Hey Yankees fans, let's get into it because the story of this season isn't just about wins and losses. It's about a bullpen that has been teetering on the edge for far too long. Heading into the Minnesota series, the team had won 7 of their previous 12 games. On paper, 7 wins and 5 losses in what could arguably be the most important stretch of the season might not look terrible, and honestly, I could have lived with that. Deep down, though, I was hoping for 8-4, just to feel like we had a little breathing room heading into the final stretch. But 7-5? Fine, I could accept that. Hats off to the guys for holding that line. The problem is, while the starters were keeping the team in games and giving us hope, the bullpen, oh boy, the bullpen, has been exposed in ways that make you question whether we can even make a serious postseason run. The Tigers series and the first game against the Twins made this glaringly obvious. The bullpen that was supposed to be a safety net, the group meant to protect leads and keep games within reach, instead showed cracks you could drive a truck through. It's not just 1 or 2 guys struggling, it's systemic. Take Luke Weaver, for example. There was a time when he was considered one of the better options out of the Yankees bullpen. A guy you could trust to close out an inning or keep a deficit manageable. But his numbers over the last stretch have been catastrophic. Over his last 11 appearances, he's posted an earned run average of 12. In his last 6 outings, it skyrockets to 24.55. And the last 3 appearances? 8 earned runs in just an inning and a third. Those numbers aren't just bad, they're alarming. 3 2/3 innings, 10 earned runs in 6 games, 12 earned runs in 11 innings. That is not the kind of consistency you can rely on, especially when the postseason is looming. If the Yankees want to have any hope of advancing, Weaver needs to find his form fast. Then there's Camilo Doval. He came over with high expectations, and so far, he has been nothing short of a mess. His last 3 appearances? 2 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs. Stretch that to his last 5 appearances for innings for earned runs. Expand it further to his last 10 outings, 8 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs. This is a guy with electric stuff and a proven track record in San Francisco. And yet here, he has been unable to translate that into effective innings for New York. The hope was that he could be part of the solution, a key piece in stabilizing a bullpen that's been shaky for most of the season. Instead, he has been part of the problem, adding to the anxiety every time he takes the mound. And it doesn't stop there. Mark Light Jr., over his last inning and a third, has given up 5 earned runs. Tim Hill has struggled in his limited appearances. Devin Williams has had stretches of success, but falls apart under high leverage. Fernando Cruz missed time due to injury and came back only to be hit hard. Paul Blackburn has been okay in brief stints. Ryan Yarrow has been inconsistent. And Jake Bird, who came with a lot of hype, has failed to deliver both at the major league level and in AAA. The narrative around these acquisitions was supposed to be about reinforcement, about shoring up a bullpen that could carry the team through tight games. Instead, it's been a cascade of disappointments. Every misstep compounds the pressure on the starters and the team's chances of not just making the playoffs, but actually competing once they get there. The reality is brutal. If the Yankee starters give you 6, 7, even 8 innings of strong pitching, the expectation is that the bullpen will hold the fort in the 8th and 9th. That hasn't been happening. We've seen leads evaporate, late innings spiral out of control, and games slip through our fingers because the bullpen simply cannot be trusted. And the postseason magnifies every flaw. The pressure intensifies, the opponents are sharper, and every mistake is punished. If Luke Weaver, Camilo Doval, and the rest of this beleaguered relief corps can't straighten things out, the Yankees are looking at a very short October. It's hard not to get frustrated. We've seen what a dominant bullpen can do in the past. When you have elite arms in the late innings, it translates into wins. It translates into championships. We've been there. We know how powerful a strong closer can be. But that standard feels light years away from what we're seeing now. The attempts to patch the bullpen at the trade deadline haven't worked. Guys like Jake Bird, hyped for their nasty stuff, have floundered. Others have been inconsistent or downright ineffective. Every outing seems to bring new reasons for concern. And it's not just statistics, though the stats are terrifying. It's watching games slip away despite strong starting pitching and feeling that creeping dread that, in the postseason, these problems will be magnified tenfold. Looking at the standings, the Yankees are trailing the Blue Jays by 5 games. Even if the offense and starting rotation perform admirably, the bullpen's failures are pushing the team further back, making a run at the American League East increasingly unlikely. That means the focus shifts to the wild card, where every game is a battle and every inning counts. And in those scenarios, the bullpen is more important than ever. We've seen how critical it is to have reliable late-inning arms. Wins aren't just about starting pitching. They're about closing out games, protecting slim leads, and keeping the team in contention. Without that, the best starting rotation in the world can still leave you watching the playoffs from home. The question looming over this team now isn't about talent. It's about execution and trust. Can Luke Weaver rebound? Can Devin Williams be counted on in high-pressure situations? Can Camilo Doval finally deliver the dominant performances that justified his acquisition? Or are we staring down a group of relievers who simply cannot perform when it matters most? The stakes are high, and the margin for error is razor-thin. Every blown inning, every run given up feels amplified because we know what's at risk. This isn't just a regular season struggle. This is a potential playoff nightmare, and the clock is ticking. Fans are left in a difficult position, torn between hope and frustration. There's talent in this bullpen, but it hasn't been harnessed effectively. The mix of injuries, inconsistency, and underperformance has created a situation that feels precarious. And with the postseason approaching, every misstep counts more than ever. The Yankees need these arms to step up, and they need them to step up soon. Otherwise, the window for meaningful success this season could close before it even begins. Watching the bullpen struggle, it's impossible not to feel the tension, the uncertainty, and the sheer anxiety of what might come. Now, let's dig even deeper into what this means for the Yankees moving forward, because it's one thing to analyze the stats, but it's another thing to truly understand the impact of a bullpen that can't be relied on. When you're talking about October baseball, every single pitch matters. You can't afford to have a reliever come in and immediately put runners on base, give up a couple of hits, and watch the lead evaporate. The postseason magnifies every mistake, and that's exactly the problem the Yankees are staring down. It doesn't matter how strong your starting rotation is if, once the 8th inning rolls around, the game slips through your fingers. And right now, that seems to be the story with this bullpen. Luke Weaver, for instance, is a case study in frustration. There were moments earlier in the season where he looked like a legitimate option, someone you could trust to get crucial outs in high-pressure situations. But the last few weeks have shown us a completely different picture. In his last 3 appearances, giving up 8 earned runs in just an inning and a third is catastrophic. It's not a fluke, it's a trend, and trends don't reverse overnight. And the scary part is that the Yankees might need him more than ever if they're going to make a serious playoff run. The postseason doesn't forgive mistakes like this. You hand over a lead to a reliever who's struggling this badly, and it could be a single bad inning that ends your season. Camilo Doval, too, has been disappointing. Coming over with high expectations, he was supposed to add velocity and strikeout ability to the bullpen. Instead, he's been inconsistent at best. His last 10 appearances, 8 2/3 innings pitched, 5 earned runs. That's not the level of performance you count on when games are on the line. The hope was that his electric stuff could overwhelm hitters and give the Yankees a reliable arm in tight spots. But right now, it seems like he's part of the problem rather than the solution. And it's frustrating because you can see the potential. He clearly has the talent, but translating talent into results in high-pressure situations is a completely different story. Mark Light Jr., Devin Williams, Fernando Cruz, every single one of these pitchers has had moments of promise, but the inconsistency is maddening. Even Paul Blackburn, who's been serviceable, isn't the kind of reliable late-inning arm you build a playoff team around. The bullpen, in its current form, cannot be trusted to carry the Yankees through October. And that's the harsh reality. The Yankees' chances in the postseason hinge on these guys stepping up, because the starting rotation, no matter how strong, can only take you so far. Let's talk about the psychological toll of this. For the starters, there's added pressure knowing that no matter how well they pitch, there's no guarantee the lead will hold. For the hitters, there's a creeping anxiety, a sense that even if they push a run across, it might not be enough. Baseball is a game of momentum, and the bullpen struggles have a way of stealing momentum in a single inning. Every blown game chips away at confidence, not just for the pitchers, but for the entire team. And as fans, we feel it too. Watching games slip away, seeing leads evaporate, and knowing that October baseball is right around the corner. The excitement of the postseason comes with the reality of high stakes, and right now, the Yankees' bullpen is a glaring weakness that could undo all the hard work put in by the starters and hitters. Injuries have also played a role, with Fernando Cruz missing significant time and struggling upon his return. That absence has forced other relievers into situations they might not have been fully prepared for, compounding the problem. Ryan Yarrow has been inconsistent, Devin Williams has faltered in high-leverage situations, and Jake Bird, hyped for his nasty stuff, has failed to deliver in both the majors and AAA. Every failed opportunity makes the margin for error even slimmer, and with the postseason looming, there's very little room to correct course. The Yankees can't simply hope for a turnaround. They need results, and they need them fast. Looking ahead, the team has to start thinking strategically. They might not be able to control every element, the opponent's hitting, the weather, the umpiring, but they can demand performance from the bullpen. They need someone, anyone, to consistently get through the eighth inning without giving up multiple runs. Bednar has shown flashes of brilliance, but relying on a single pitcher to carry the weight of the late innings is a dangerous gamble. The fact remains, the Yankees' playoff hopes could be dashed in a single inning if these relievers don't find their form. The question isn't just about talent. It's about execution, resilience, and the ability to perform under pressure. And here's the reality of postseason baseball. The margin for error is minimal. One bad inning in a wild-card game or a short series can end your season. In a best-of-3, best-of-5, or best-of-7 format, the importance of every single out is magnified. The Yankees have elite hitters and a capable rotation, but without a reliable bullpen, even the most dominant performances earlier in the game can be erased in moments. The stakes are incredibly high, and the pressure on these relievers is intense. It's not just about giving up runs, it's about changing the dynamic of games, shifting momentum, and putting the team in a hole that is difficult to climb out of. Fans, analysts, and players alike are watching closely. The uncertainty surrounding the bullpen creates tension and anticipation with every appearance. Can Luke Weaver find his groove? Will Devin Williams finally deliver when it counts? Can Doval translate his raw talent into effective innings? The answers to these questions will likely determine the Yankees' postseason fate. And while it's easy to speculate, the reality is that the team needs immediate improvement. The margin for error has shrunk, the pressure is mounting, and the consequences of continued struggles are significant. Every pitch, every inning, every outing matters more than ever. But before we continue, please remember to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support allows us to keep bringing you the latest news about the New York Yankees. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments. The New York Yankees are reportedly facing internal turmoil as whispers of a heated clash between two of their young talents, Anthony Volpe and Ben Rice, have begun to circulate throughout the baseball world. Sources close to the team suggest that the confrontation was more than just a minor disagreement in the locker room. It allegedly escalated to a point where team management felt compelled to remove both players from the active roster, at least temporarily. While official statements from the Yankees have remained diplomatic, describing the decision as a precautionary measure, insiders hint that the friction between Volpe and Rice has been simmering for weeks, fueled by competitive tension and clashing personalities. Volpe, the highly touted shortstop, has been under the microscope since his promotion, with expectations sky-high for his performance both on and off the field. Meanwhile, Rice, a promising arm in the bullpen, is said to have grown frustrated with what he perceived as a lack of cohesion and mutual respect among the younger roster members. The situation reportedly reached a boiling point during a team gathering last week, where an argument turned physical, or at least intense enough that witnesses felt the need to involve team officials immediately. Though neither player has confirmed the details publicly, sources suggest that the Yankees front office took the unusual step of isolating them from the team to prevent further disruption and to send a clear message about locker room conduct. The incident has sparked speculation about the clubhouse atmosphere in New York, a team already under immense pressure to perform in the shadow of high expectations and media scrutiny. Analysts are debating whether this is merely a youthful clash that will be resolved with time and counseling, or a sign of deeper issues within the team's chemistry. Fans, of course, have taken to social media to voice their opinions, with some expressing concern over how such tension could affect the Yankees' playoff hopes, while others insist that the talent of VOLPE and Rice is too valuable to jeopardize over personal conflicts. With spring training approaching, the Yankees now face a delicate balancing act: reintegrate two of their brightest prospects while maintaining order and morale in the clubhouse. Whether this episode will be a fleeting headline or a defining moment in the careers of VOLPE and Rice remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: New York baseball is buzzing, and all eyes will be on the team as it navigates this unexpected storm. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the New York Yankees, please subscribe to our channel and give us a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.